Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Predict-a-palooza here on the Sam and Mason Show, the Extreme Rules edition, and let's get started by predicting the card of this Sunday's Extreme Rule pay-per-view event. Just one Extreme Rule, not multiple Extreme Rules. We are live from Florence, Italy here tonight, even though I don't think they've ever had a televised event in Florence, Italy. Do you realize it's never actually in America when we play the video game? It's been everywhere except, like, New York or Los Angeles.
What was the last time, like Morocco or something?
Yeah, like Philippines or something like that. Obviously, they have a lot of televised events here that we don't know about.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently we don't watch enough. Actually, I didn't watch Raw because I was watching the Leafs playoff game, and I don't want to talk about what happened. So
Very disappointing. I flipped back and forth between the two. I actually found myself more disappointed with the Leafs game in the end, which I didn't think I was going to be, you know. But nonetheless, here we're doing Randy Orton versus Antonio Cesaro from this past Monday's Raw, as we predict the card for this Sunday's Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So the pre-show match is The Miz versus Cody Rhodes. Miz is back after filming some movie again, so they just throw him into a random pre-show match against Cody Rhodes. This doesn't mean anything. It's just a pre-show match. No story behind it whatsoever, really. Doesn't really matter. I assume The Miz with a clean face wins.
this is just a regular match, regular rules, nothing special.
It's not Extreme Rules at all.
Good, because yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Why would you have an Extreme Rules match in Extreme Rules?
No, fuck that. They can do whatever they want. They make the rules and they break them.
Hey, there you go. I love that.
So I say The Miz, you say The Miz. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Either way, but I
say either.
So.
Say the ref wins.
Yeah, well, we definitely won't as fans. Fandangus versus Chris Jericho, round 2. Terrible dance-off to open Raw last Monday. Getting really sick of this stuff, to be honest. Let's just have him wrestle. You know, he can dance on his way to the ring and whatever, but I don't want to ever have to see another dance-off in wrestling. And the crowd was just dead during it, and, you know, for the remainder of the Raw show, to be honest. They're probably never going to go back to Tulsa, Oklahoma after.
I sure hope not. The only time they're allowed, like I flipped on a couple times Raw, and the only time they're allowed is when Cena came out, and that was it. And when he tagged into the match a couple times, that was it.
Yeah. So Fandango won at WrestleMania. That's the thing, though. You would think that Jericho wouldn't be losing 2 months in a row, but Jericho's not here all the time, and I think they're really committed to the Fandango character, so I say Fandango picks up 2 months in a row victory over Chris Jericho in this match.
I say, yeah, Fandango, but really, who cares? All right, next.
You are dark today.
You know, whatever. Well, I mean, it's stupid. I don't care about like the dancing crap. Like you said, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Randy Orton versus Big Show in the Extreme Rules match. This is probably the most generic, just Extreme Rules match. Basically, no DQ, nothing. It's just.
I like that though.
Yeah,
you can go anywhere with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You know, it kind of is built off of the 6-man tag team match against the Shield, where Big Show punched Orton in the face and screwed his team last month at WrestleMania. I say Randy Orton picks up a clean victory here, even though both superstars don't really have much in terms of anything specific going for them at this point.
Yeah, this kind of match is hard to predict because both these guys are just sort of static right now. They're just kind of staying in the same place, and I don't know. If you say Orton, I'll say Big Show. Who knows?
Okay, make a bet on that one. Sheamus versus Mark Henry in a strap match. So basically, the two guys are tied together, and they got to go around and touch all 4 ring posts. And
they light up, apparently.
Yeah.
According to Cole.
Yeah, of course they light up, man. Shades of JBL versus Eddie Guerrero, Judgment Day 2005, one of the greatest strap matches of all time. Or was it 2004? I think it was
2004, yeah.
Sheamus doesn't lose often cleanly, but like they have been really behind Mark Henry in his recent push to main event status, and I think Sheamus can afford to lose now because he's really established with the fans. He doesn't need a victory here, and I think Henry does, especially after beating Ryback last year's WrestleMania. He's got a lot of momentum on his back, and I think he could really use a win here to, you know, push him even further into main event status. So I say Mark Henry in this match. And plus, no one's getting pinned, no one's getting submitted, no one has to look bad, right?
Yeah, the thing about this match is that it involves strength, and then you know Mark Henry is the world's strongest man. And you gotta like drag your opponent around. So it's either going to be Henry wins because he's the world's strongest man and he drags Sheamus around the ring no problem, but I feel like that's too easy. So then it could be the other way where Sheamus wins because he's beaten Mark Henry so badly and he makes his way around the ring. It could go either way. I say Henry, though. I think Henry's going to win as well.
Me too. The Shield attempts to get WWE Gold around their waist for the first time. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of the Shield take on Team Hell No for the Tag Team Championship in a tornado match. So that means all members of the ring. And thank God, they never, ever do tornado matches. They've been in the video games forever. And
yeah, I always pick those.
Yeah, and I don't know when the last time we actually saw like an advertised tornado match was. A long time ago.
Back when it was like the Hardys versus, I don't know.
Edge and Christian, the Duds.
Yeah. That was the last time that happened, like 2003.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is time for Team Hell No's tag team title reign to end. They don't really have many other competitors other than the Shield. They don't have many more challengers.
That's their only challenge.
Exactly. And I think it's time for Hell No to move on. It was a good gimmick. It worked, a good comedic relief in the show. And but I think the Shield has to pick up a win here and continue their undefeated streak.
I agree. I think the Shield picks up the win. But like you said, Hell No's been dragging on, and WWE likes to drag things on, so who knows? But hopefully, I say the Shield wins.
Dean Ambrose, who has kind of been like the singles star of the Shield, takes on Kofi Kingston for the United States Championship, and I assume the Shield makes the clean sweep here and
I hope so.
Gets all the mid-card gold. And that's the thing, like I'm glad.
Nice pause there, by the way.
I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. You know the issue with my phone in this, okay? And the thing is, I'm glad that they're not rushing the Shield to world title status. You know, take them slow, move them from mid-card to main event titles, and then that way they'll be around for longer. You know, the thing is with the Nexus, they rushed them. They won.
Well, they didn't even give them the world title.
No, they never got a world title. They never got a mid-card title. They got the tag belts. That was it, right? And then after they lost for the world title, there was nothing else to do with them, right? So that was it. They were only around for a few months. So I think this is a good strategy to keep the Shield as a part of WWE's product for a long time. So Dean Ambrose beats Kofi Kingston in that one. Agreed?
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
What was supposed to be a triple threat ladder match for the World Heavyweight title has now become a one-on-one I Quit match between Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio, where the winner becomes the #1 contender for the world title. This is because, as we know, Ziggler has sustained a concussion at last week's SmackDown taping. Apparently, it was pretty bad. He didn't remember anything. He didn't remember how he got to Raw or SmackDown that night, or SmackDown that night. And yeah, he can't compete. So thank God they're not stripping the title off of Ziggler, because that just would have been brutal. They obviously appreciate his work, and it goes to show by them not taking the title even though he's injured. So I don't know. This match doesn't really matter, regardless. I think Ziggler still holds the belt, whoever he faces after this match, right? So I assume they go for Del Rio just because it's a face win, and Swagger's pretty much done now anyway, right? Yeah. So I say Del Rio.
I'd love to see Swagger win. You know how I feel about Del Rio. I guess. I hate to say it. Yeah, I guess Del Rio would probably win. Unfortunately,
it would be more interesting to have Swagger win. I don't think this.
It'd be a hell of a lot more interesting. That's why I want to see that.
But do they, on SmackDown, where there's not as many people watching, do they really want a heel versus heel? I don't think it appeals to them as much as it appeals to us having Swagger versus Ziggler, right? Because who is the crowd going to cheer for?
Yeah, that's true. Especially when they're as dead as they were in Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. The final meeting between Triple H and Brock Lesnar is going to take place in a steel cage match. It doesn't really make sense here. I thought to myself, why isn't this match taking place inside Hell in a Cell? Both of these guys have had some of their best matches inside Hell in a Cell, and it's usually the place where two guys meet to settle the score once and for all. Steel cage match doesn't really do much here, I don't think. I think Brock Lesnar has to pick up the win here, though, because he's going into a teased Brock vs. Rock 2 match sometime in the near future. I don't think he can lose 2 months in a row, and I think he has to win the series here against Triple H. He would be up 2-1 if he wins at Extreme Rules.
So you're taking Lesnar?
I'm taking Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, when these two fight, it's always hard to say, because honestly, I was surprised how much Lesnar has lost. Like, lost to Cena, he's lost to H, And then at the same time, I'm not surprised he's lost to Triple H because, you know, he's Triple H and he always got to win. So it's always hard to say in this kind of match. But, oh, man, I don't know. I want to say Triple H wins again. That wouldn't surprise me if that happened. I wouldn't necessarily like it, but it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I hope not, but I guess I wouldn't be that surprised either. John Cena defends the WWE Championship against Ryback in a last man standing match. And I noted this before. It's a good stipulation so that neither man has to look bad in this. I would say any other time that Ryback would become the new WWE Champion here, he is facing John Cena, and he is facing John Cena, who just beat The Rock last month at WrestleMania, has a lot of momentum. I think they want to keep the strap on Cena here. And I think maybe Ryback wins the gold sometime down the road, but I don't think it happens this Sunday at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, no question. I agree with that. I don't think he's ready yet, or maybe he was ready, but not anymore. It's sort of
they lost that opportunity. He's heel now.
That momentum's gone, and yeah, Cena's definitely keeping the belt.
I think they've been booking Ryback's pushes at terrible times, or he can't win the belt. They booked it when CM Punk was champion, and he hadn't been champion for over a year yet, and they wanted that milestone, and now they're booking it against John Cena, where he just comes off one of the biggest matches of his career. He beat The Rock. Yeah. So it's a tough time for Ryback to win the title, but I hope he does. But realistically, I got to say Cena's my prediction. So thanks for listening, guys. Extreme Rules this Sunday live on pay-per-view, and we'll see you there. No, we won't. We're not going. We'll see you there on pay-per-view.
We'll see you there in spirit. Oh, yeah. Okay.